Hi Stampers, it's Tina Shaw, and today I have this really pretty slimline cardigan, and I've done it in the blues this time. I've used Balmy Blue, Pacific Point, White, Whisper White of course, and the Designer Series paper from the Snowflake set. And then I've also made an envelope using printer paper, and I'm going to show you how to do that. That just takes a minute. It's so easy. So we will get started. Okay, so first let's bring in the card base. This is Balmy Blue, and this piece is 8 by 7 inches, scored at 3.5. So that's the base of the card. Then I have a piece of Pacific Point for my first layer, which is 3 1/4. Once this is folded, this is 3.5 inches here. So this is 3 1/4 by 7 3/4. And then this is beautiful Designer Series paper with the Snowflake set. Let me get the name of this pack for you. It is Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. Beautiful, beautiful patterns on both sides. It's got Pool Party, Balmy Blue, Pacific Point, looks like some Highland Heather. It's just gorgeous. Look at this. Beautiful muted colors. Pool Party. Love it, love it, love it. So anyway, oh, and I love this piece here. It's all splotched up like water. Isn't that just gorgeous? So anyhow, that is the Designer Series paper that I'm using. And so this piece, did I tell you, is 3 inches by 7.5. So I've just gone down 1/4 of an inch for each layer. So actually I can go ahead and put these together. So I'm using my Stampin' Seal, which I really like, and then I'm just going to make a little edge around it here, and then I'm going to put this on the back of this piece because I don't think I'm using ribbon today. The paper is just so pretty, I don't really need it. So then I'm just going to put this piece onto here. Okay, so now what I want to do, set that piece aside, is I'm going to stamp my poinsettias. Okay, so I've brought in a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock, and I've got my 3 poinsettia stamps from this set. I'm going to use my embossing buddy and just go over the sheet of cardstock so my embossing doesn't stick to what I don't want it to stick to. Okay, so I'm inking this up with Versamark, and I'm using Versamark because I am embossing. So here is my largest flower, the poinsettia. So I'm making sure I get all of my ink, my Versamark ink on there. Okay, so there's one. And then the next largest, ink it up with the Versamark. And just stamp this one right here. Okay. And there's that one. And now my third and smaller piece. Ink it up real good in the Versamark on this one. And just stamp it down here like that. Okay. And now I'm going to take just my little tray and my white embossing powder, and just going to put my embossing powder over the stamped poinsettia. And I like to really, really cover it well with the powder. So I'll get a nice, shiny finish. And I like to take it and just run it back over there again. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. All right, so I'm going to take this over and use my heat tool to set the embossing on it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I embossed these using my heat tool. And so now what I'm going to do is cut these out using the dies from the set. And I'm going to cut them out with my new Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machine. I just got it. If you're a demonstrator, you can order this month. If you're a customer, they'll be able to purchase next month in September. And I love it because all the plates are numbered. I'm going to use plate number 1, plate number 2, and then the cleared plate, number 3, look how beautiful and unmarked they are right now. Not for long. And now I'm going to put my cardstock that I want to cut out. And then I'm going to match up the die to the right way here. This will take a second. Okay. And now I'm going to run this through with my top plate, which is also a number 3. And I moved it just a smidgen. There we go. Okay. And do you see how I have a little mark on my die? I'll tell you what that is for in just a minute. Okay, so that looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to put that plate down, and I'm just going to run it through. Oh boy, everybody said it was smooth. It is really smooth. And I'm only cutting out one at a time. Look how perfect. Okay, so then I'm going to do number 2 size here. Okay, and again, I find the right way. It's not it, not it. This might be it. There it is. Okay. That looks good. Put my top plate on. Run it through. Super easy. Wow. I like it. Okay, there's the number 2. And then I have one more. Number 3 die here. Ah, I got it the first time. Okay, and now I'm going to run this one through. Okay. And there are my poinsettias are cut out. Now, let me grab the stamp set so I can show you why I marked my dies. Let me get this out of the road. So handy. Just folds up and carry it right away. Put it over there. Move my plates out of my way. Okay. Now the reason that I mark my dies is because they also have these little embossing dies that you can use. And so what I did was I took and matched them up, and so I made a little tick mark on my die and then the embossing die, and that way when I run this through, it will emboss the veins and the leaves the same time that it cuts it out. Like this card here, I don't know if you can see or not the veins, but that's what I did with this one. So you don't always have to stamp using this set. You can do it, you can use it just like that as well. So that's just a little tip. All right, so now I'm going to take my cutout flowers and I'm going to use my Balmy Blue ink pad and I'm going to sponge just around the edges like that, just to add a little depth, a little shading. I think it just adds a lot to the card when you have sponging. See the difference? Isn't that beautiful? So I'm just going to do all three flowers, all three parts of the flower exactly. And then I'm going to show you how I did the leaves. I started to use Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz leaves, and I didn't like it. So, all right, so I'll show you what I did in a second. So now all I did was to take and put my poinsettia together, and I used my stamping seal. Just put a little bit on there, and then I just staggered these so all the empty spaces, whoops, are closed. And then on my top piece, I just did the same thing. And if you wanted to, you could take and curl the edges with your bone folder, which I should have done first before I glued it together. But I never do anything the way that it's supposed to be. And it's fine. Just be careful when you do this with the little edges because they're easy to just pull right off. I did that the other day as well. So, okay, so there's my little flower. Isn't that so cute? And then I'm going to put that on right there. And I'm going to pop that up with a couple dimensionals. Okay, so here's 1 and 2. And get the back off. There we go. So I'm going to put my flower the way I want it, which is like that. How pretty already. Okay, so then what I did is I took and I cut out some leaves using the same stamp set, and looks like I already used my sponge on these two. So I cut some out in Balmy, and then I cut some out in Pacific Point. So I just went around the edges like that and like this. Even though it's a lighter shade, it still looks darker on the darker blue. So there, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I kind of fold these both, and then I'm going to see where I want them to go. I think the blue just made it. It's just so pretty. So here's another couple. And so I'm going to put these like over here. I'm just placing these where I think I want them to be for right now. Nothing is set in stone yet. Okay, and so fold these up. I think I want those like right there. There. Okay, so the leaf dies. I used the leaf die, and then I used the little embossing part for the veins, just the same way as the flower petals were. So I cut out 3 of each color, and then I also cut out some of the pretty little sprigs I've cut some out in silver, some in balmy, and some in that blue. So it looks like I need to glue down first here before I do that. Okay. So in order to do that, I just used, where did I have that? Right there. And I think the two colors look really nice with it. What do you think? Because they are the two colors that I put together on the card. And I'm all matchy-matchy. That's me. Matchy Tina. So there's that one. Here's this one. Okay. Now I've got one more. Put that one back there. See, I tucked them in, and that's the reason that I only use a couple of dimensionals, so I would be able to tuck these in underneath. There, that looks pretty. And then I'm going to take some of my little sprigs, and I'm actually going to snip off the edge here. I don't think I'm going to glue these down until I decide exactly where where I want my saying. Look how pretty. Love it. So, snip, snip, snip. Okay, and then move all my little pieces away. So I want this kind of across from this side. And I'm going to put the silver one on top. And I think I'm going to do it this way because there. Put that one on the light one and that one on the dark one. And then this one on the top. Like that. Okay. So, there we're getting there now. Now I want to add my pretty little pearl, my beaded pearl. I can open that up and then put that, oh my gosh, look how pretty that's going to be. And so I like to use glue dots. Something in my throat here this morning. So let me find my glue dots. Here they are. And I'm just going to put a couple of glue dots on the back of this. There. And here. There we go. And then I'm just going to put that right in the center. Oh, that's pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so there's the card so far. Now, okay, for my final piece to stamp on the outside, I'm going to use Pacific Point, and I have a piece of Whisper White that is 4.5 by 1. And I've chosen this pretty greeting from For Unto Us. I think it is just beautiful. I love all the fonts. I love what they say. I just love that whole thing. So let's see how we do on this one here. Looks like I did a little overkill. That must be a very juicy stamp. Let me wipe some of this off of here. Don't want to ruin it. You know what? Ink it up just a bit here. Okay, try it again. Okay, so see what happens. So I want it towards the right side more than the left because I want to tuck it in over here. Oh, pretty! Not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there, and I might bring these down just a smidge here. Oh, how pretty is that? And you know what else I think I want to do is sponge with my lighter blue, just to have a little definition around the white. Just a dab. Easier said than done for me. Okay. Oh, pretty. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Put these up before I smear something. Okay, so, and this one, I am just going to lay this one flat. One of my other ones, yeah, I did that one flat too. This was the first one I ever made. And then this is the last one that I made. I did this one in two versions. I did it with the silver and the pearls, and then this one I did with gold and the gilded gems. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. Real glue, here we go. Come out, come out, there it comes. Okay, so then I'm just going to slide this, maybe if I do this here, if I put it down just a smidgen here, like that. Make sure I get it straight. And then I'm going to take and glue my little pieces under there. I can see my silicone mat here. And I like to use my liquid glue on the backs of these. So I think I want to put down my light one first. I just put a few dots right on those little circle pieces. Okay, and then let's see, where do I want this to be? I think I want it to be like right there. Yep. And then I'm going to do my Pacific Point, same way. Just dot, dot, dot. And then I'm going to, I think, put it over here. Oh, so pretty. And then I'm going to put on the silver, like that. Okay, and I'm going to put this one kind of right on top of both of them, unless my finger sticks to it. There we go. Just hold that down for a second. Oh, how pretty is that? I love it. Okay, now to finish the outside, I have these really pretty blue adhesive back gems that were with the snowflake set. And I thought these would look gorgeous on there. I think I want this one. Oh, I don't know. They're so pretty. Let's do, I don't want great big ones. Let's do like here. Oh my gosh, is that gorgeous or what? And here, and then one more. Let's do over here, up here, I think down here. Oh my word, that is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Okay, so now all I have to do is my inside. Where are we not working? Okay, so for my inside piece, I have 7 3/4 by 3 1/4. And so I'm going to stamp on a piece of scrap paper. And so the first thing I want to do is, I think I want the lighter Balmy Blue. And then I'm going to use, whoops, didn't have that on there very well. Then I'm going to use the stamp of the poinsettia that is also in that set. Isn't that gorgeous? And so I'm just going to do it on the corners like that. And then I think for my greeting, I'm going to use the darker blue. And so for the greeting, I think I want, how about Christmas Begins with Christ? I've not used that one yet. That should be beautiful. Let me get a block. Put this on here, lovely. Remember, my stamp pad is so juicy. And then I'm just gonna try to get this in the center as best I can. Oh my gosh, I love it. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, so all I have to do now is just glue this piece in here. And I'm going to use my liquid glue one more time here. There we go. It's coming out. Okay, and so I'm just going to put this in here. Make sure I'm doing it the right direction. Okay, that looks about right. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. I love the blue. What do you think? Okay, so now I want to show you how to make the envelope really quickly. This is an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of printer paper, and I have scored this at 2, let me show you, 2 5/16, and then at, where's the other one? 2 5/16 and 6 1/8 this way, and then this way I started at the 1 inch here. I don't know if you can see those or not, and then 9 1/4. So I'm going to take it and fold on those lines, and then I'm going to use my bone folder to get a nice crisp crease like this. And then I'm going to open that up and then crease the other line going the other way. Okay, and I have these written instructions on my blog with the measurements, and then hopefully I will have this video on there too. You can see how to do that. Okay, so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that I need to trim off. So I'm going to cut that right on those, move that too, right on those folded score lines, like that. And then actually I want to take a little piece off of here, like that, if I can get it straighter. And then I'm going to take a little piece off of here, just to angle it down there. Okay, so again, I'm cutting right on those lines. I'm trying to booger it. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off just a sliver at an angle, like a little triangle. And then again on this one, down to there. I'm going to do the same thing down here. On the lines. The hardest part on the white paper is seeing my lines. And then I'm going to trim off at an angle, again, like that. And then cut the last one. So I've just cut off all 4 corners on all the fold lines. So there's that. And then I'm going to trim this one up just a little bit. And then trim this one here. Whoops, trying to cut him off abruptly. There we go. All right, so, I can't remember if I did this one. I'm going to do just a smidgen. Sometimes, if you don't have these trimmed up really well, then they kind of stick out when you're folding and you have to trim it off Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, this one here needs to be trimmed just a bit more. Let's see. Just so it looks kind of cute on the outside is what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take my glue one more time. Oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to use my Stamp and Seal. And I'm just going to go along the edge. And then I'm just going to fold that over and seal it. And then down on this edge, I'm going to seal it right here on the edge. And then just fold that up. And then you're going to put your card in. Only I'm not messing with that right now. And then when you want to mail it, then of course you'll just put your glue on there. But there's your envelope. Super easy. And so what I want to do again is to use the pretty flower and just kind of do it in the corner. And then I like to do it on the back flap. Like that. How pretty is that? So, here we go. I think it turned out pretty well. I really like the blue. So now I've done a blue, a pink, and the red. Let me know how you like it. If you have any questions, make sure you get a hold of me. You can reach me through my Stampin' Up website, tinashaw.stampinup.net. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my blog, which is tinashaws.blogspot.com. So thank you so much. I hope everybody will try to make these. They are so easy and they're so beautiful. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.